In this video, I will demonstrate how to run a degree audit and start creating your educational plan. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go to the main North Seattle College website, go to the quick links and click on class schedule. This will take you to My North, which is our main student portal. This is typically where students are looking for classes and adding and dropping classes. Today, we're going to use a couple of the features in the My North section. So you'll click on My North, and first you will enter your SID or your student ID. That is the 9-digit number you received when you applied to be a student at North Seattle. Then you'll enter your PIN. Your PIN is set to be your 6-digit birthday. So it'll be month, day, last two only of the year you were born. You are welcome to change your PIN later if you want. If so, please make sure it's something that you will remember. Click sign in, and we are now in the My North section. You'll see we're signed in as Snow White, the fake student we're using today. So there's lots of things you can do in My North, but today we're going to focus on degree audit and ed plan. So when you click on the degree audit button, it's going to take you to another login page. You will put in your same student ID and PIN that you used to log into your My North account. A degree audit is a recording of what are all of the classes and credits required for the specific certificate or degree you're working on and what you've already completed. To find what you need for what you're working on, you'll go to this drop-down menu and you'll see a list of all of the certificates and degrees we offer at North Seattle. You can see there's quite a few, so you'll need to scroll down and find the specific degree or certificate that you are working on. Sometimes, as in this example for the Associate of Fine Arts degree, you will see that there's two different ones that are the same degree. If this is the case, you want to make sure you pick the one that's the most updated recent year, because that will be our most current degree or certificate. For today's demonstration, we're going to look at the Associate of Arts degree, just the general transfer degree. So you click on the degree or certificate you're working on and say Run Audit. And then this will pull up a record of what is required for that specific certificate or degree, and again, what you've already completed. At the top of the degree audit, you'll see a listing of how many credits are required. So for this degree, the Associate of Arts degree, it's 90 credits. How many credits you've completed. So Snow White has completed 44.5. And then you'll see a GPA requirement of 2.0. Please note that to graduate from North Seattle College with any certificate or degree we offer, you must have a cumulative 2.0 GPA or higher. You will also see something here that says current GPA, but that is not your cumulative overall GPA. To find that, you'll scroll down to the very bottom of the degree audit and you'll see it in this box right here. The next thing you want to do in degree audit is hit expand all so you get additional information for every section of the degree audit. What you will notice is sometimes in here it will tell you the credits required for that specific section, and sometimes it'll say courses required with the number of courses. So you want to make sure you're reading everything very carefully so you have a good understanding of what you need for your certificate or degree. In this example, for the Associate of Arts degree English composition requirement, it requires 10 credits and Snow White has completed 0 so far. To find out what classes would be required for those 10 credits, you can click the little box with the plus sign, and you'll see that for this degree, you need English 101 and English 102. There's no choice in what you can take for your English composition requirement. It must be English 101 and English 102. Some sections you'll have choices for what you can take to meet that requirement. So for example, if we scroll down a little bit, we'll see in the Individuals, Cultures, and Societies section that 15 credits are required. Snow White has completed 4.5, so she's still going to need more credits in that section. To find out what credits and classes would meet that requirement, if we click the plus sign, we'll now see a very long list of options that Snow White could take for classes to meet this requirement. So again, sometimes you will have a lot of choices and sometimes you have to take very specific classes. When you've completed something, you should receive a nice green check mark showing that you've completed that section or that requirement. However, I will note that degree audit sometimes makes mistakes, so it's very important that you run through your degree audit with your academic advisor to verify that everything is accurate and in the places where it should be in there. So once you've run your degree audit and you have a good idea of what you need to complete your certificate or degree, that's when you want to start working on your ed plan. So you'll go back to the My North button, and this time you'll click on Ed Plan. And once you get here, you'll want to go to Create Ed Plan, and you can make a name for it. So for this example, we'll continue with the Associate of Arts degree and say Create. And you will now get a list of a whole bunch of different quarters and different years. As you already learned, an ed plan is a draft of what classes you are planning to take each quarter to make sure that you have everything fit in that's required for whatever certificate or degree or transfer plans that you have. So to start working on your ed plan, you'll pick a quarter and start putting in the classes that you are either currently taking or plan to take. So for this example, we're going to click Fall, and we're going to make an example that Snow White is taking English 101. So you'll start typing in the subject, scroll down until you find the right class. So we're going to look for English 101. And we're also going to pretend that Snow White is taking Math 98. We get there. And also we're going to say that Snow White is taking Art 111, which is our drawing class. So those are the three classes that Snow White is taking in fall. We say add courses. You will now see those classes populate in fall quarter. Then you can start planning out, if this is what I'm taking in fall quarter, what do I want to take in winter quarter, and so on. One thing that we strongly recommend is that if you are taking a class that builds upon itself, that you take all of the classes in that sequence until you're finished with it so you don't forget anything. So for example, classes like math, world languages, science sequences, accounting sequences, anything that builds upon itself. So for this example, we're going to say we want to make sure that Snow White continues on with math so that she doesn't forget everything she learned in Math 98. So in winter, maybe Snow White is going to take Pre-Calculus 1, which is our Math 141 class. So we'll put that in there. And maybe Snow White also is going to take a public speaking class. So we'll find communications and put that in there, and we'll add classes. And then maybe we realize once the schedule comes out that pre-calculus and public speaking happen at the same time. So maybe Snow White decides, oh, I think I'll take public speaking in spring quarter. It's very easy to move a class. You click on it, say update, select a new quarter, say pick the quarter and say update course. And you can see it moved from winter over to spring. Maybe Snow White decided for math, Pre-Calculus 1 is not the best fit and she needs a different math class. So if you want to delete a class from your ed plan, you just click it, say delete course, and it will go out. So that's really very simple steps for how you can start working on your ed plan. You can move classes around. This is a good idea to get a draft of where you want to take classes. And one thing we want you to remember is that your ed plan is not set in stone. So it's not like you make it once and you never look at it again. You should always be revising and reevaluating your education plan. It's your choice whether you want to start working on your ed plan and then come in and meet with an advisor to get it approved, or you can come in and start it from scratch with your advisor. Whichever way works best for you is great. So go forth and run your degree audit and make your ed plan and come and meet with an advisor.